Hello, Open Access Module 4 Textbook Project. Go ahead and start. Open your start file. And then you can enable the content and you can save it right away to where you save your documents. Just change the name so it should be 4_jobs_ in your name. So the first thing we're going to do, this last module with Access, Module 4, is working with forms and reports. So right-click for the form, company entry, actually double-click and that'll open it. And this is a form, and if you look at the bottom, there are 30 records, 30 separate entries of information. So if you click the right arrow, it's next record, so record 2, 3, 4, and so forth. If you click the arrow with the line, that's the last record. And then you can go previous. And then if you click the left arrow with the line, it'll take you the first record. And then if you wanted to go to a very specific record, if you click where it has 1 of 30, just click in there, you can actually type record 17 and press enter, and it takes you right to record 17. Once you're in record 17, we're going to change the industry category. So instead of construction, use the drop-down menu and choose aerospace. And you can't see it, so you just have to up arrow and then choose aerospace. And then we're going to create our own new record, record 31. Click on the bottom right after last record is new blank record. And then click in company name. And then for the industry, click the down arrow, do not type it, and select information. Go ahead and finish the description. So go ahead and finish the description, the city and the state, Missouri, and then proofread to make sure there are no errors. And we're actually going to right-click on the company entry tab and choose close, and it'll automatically save. It will not even ask us if we want to save. It automatically does that in form view. So now right-click again on company entry in forms, and this time select layout view. So in the header section where the company entry form title is, select that and then choose the Format tab, and we're going to put the company name in bold, and then we're going to select the font color in the standards dark blue, and then change the font size to 24. Then we'll click the industry label, and when you click it, it just selects it, but if you click it again, it flashes in it. So move to the left and type primary and then press enter. So you just change the field name, the column name. And then the next command button right next to close, click that, and we're just going to delete it. So just press delete on your keyboard and that'll delete it. And then click the close. We're going to change the style of that button, so click the close button and then choose quick styles, and we're going to select fill colored fill blue accent 1, and then we're going to change the shape of it to oval, and then we're going to change the outline to transparent, and if you click away you'll see it. Then where it says company 1, click in there, and instead of having it right aligned, we're going to center it so it puts the number in the middle. Right click on the company entry tab, and this time choose design view. And this looks a little confusing, but this is the layout of how our form looks. We have the company ID, name, and so forth. We have city and state, but we're missing zip code. So in order to add a field, choose the Design tab at the top, and then click Add Existing Fields, and these are the fields we have, so we maybe forgot zip code, so we want to add it. So you're going to click zip code, and then you're going to drag it underneath state. And don't worry, we're going to move it. So when you select the column label on the left side, zip code, move it with the gray box in the top corner. And then you just try to match state, and do the same thing with the one on the right. And then double click zip code, and what we actually want is zip in all caps. And then click the Format tab, and you want the font to be automatic, which is the first one, and you want it right aligned. Looks good. Okay, now we're going to add a footer. So down at the bottom, increase, look for double arrows where it says Form Footer, and increase it about a ½ inch. And then in order to type in there, click the Design tab, and this is Label. So go ahead and click that, and then you can just hold and drag and type a label. We're going to fill in there JCL Talent. After you type the label in the footer, JCL Talent, press Enter. Then on the tab, Company Entry, right-click and choose Save. And then right-click and close. And this time we're not going to close. We're going to choose Form View to see how it looks. There you go. There you have the zip code added. Notice the number is centered. Your zip code's underneath state. And now we can right-click and close. Nice. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to create a report based on the query called Job Salaries. So just click Job Salaries once. Do not double click. And then choose Create, and we're going to choose Report. And it's going to be based on Job Salaries query. So the first thing we're going to do is choose, if you look at the column, just click Industry, and then you can click anything, any category in industry. And you can see that it's very wide. We don't need it that wide. So if you hover to the boundaries between industry and company name, you get that double arrow, and just drag it so it's about half the size. Then we're going to work with the column titles, industry, company name. So click Industry, hold Shift, and click Applicants so it selects all of them. And I'm going to stop for a second because I always forget this part. Go to Page Setup and choose Landscape. All right, now we'll do the Industry, Shift, Applicants, and we'll go back to Format. And we are going to choose the color Automatic. And then we're going to click Starting Salary, so we're selecting the title, and then to select everything underneath it, Shift and click any value underneath, so it's selecting the entire column. And what we want to do, if you want, you can close, if you have a property sheet, you can close that out. We want to move Starting Salary to the end, so it's the last column. So you need the 4 arrow button, and I'm going into an empty space, and I'm just going to click and hold and drag, and as I drag it, I'll see a red line, and I go a little bit further there. So I just put the starting salary to the end. Now this one we're ready to close out, so if you right click on Job Salaries and you choose Save, it's going to give you a name. It happens to be the same name, Job Salaries, as the query, but we can keep it that name because it's going to be listed under Reports, and it's also based on the job salaries. So go ahead and click OK. And then we'll click Job Salaries and take a peek at it in Print Preview. So this is how it would be in a print preview state. And then we'll go back to Layout View. And now we'll go back to Design View. So right click and choose Design View. And this looks a little confusing, but we're going to make changes to the form. So what we'd like to do now is we have this empty space here over on the right hand side. So we are going to just drag it over, and I usually go right to the edge here. Go a little more if you'd like. So you're just closing up that extra space you had on the right hand side. And then you're going to click over where it's job salaries in that green little book. There's an arrow that will select everything. So it selected everything in the header. And then we'll choose the Arrange tab and click Remove Layout. And the next thing we're going to do is you can just click away, select the date, and then hold Control and select the time so that they're both selected. With both the date and time selected, click the space size button and then choose Group on the bottom. And then you're going to actually on the keyboard press the right arrow button enough so that it moves to match the ones below it to the far there. That's good. Click the Job Salaries header, and then you'll choose the Format tab, and then we'll change the font color to automatic and the font size to 24. And then click again in job salary so it's selected and put a space bar between job and salaries. And then we'll click, and be careful, there's the starting salary twice. One is the header, one's detail. Click the starting salary in the detail, and then click the shading box and select green 2 in the standard colors. It's probably the lighter one, green 2. So then we'll right click the job salaries and save, and then we'll right click and do the print preview to see what it would look like. And there's the title, it's updated, date and times aligned, and the salary is in that shaded green. And then you click the next page to go through the rest of the report. And then we'll right click and close. I'm going to end here with part 1 and we'll start part 2.